Teachers of Reddit. What was the biggest red flag you've seen in a student? During my first weeks of teaching, I had a student, let's call him Brian. Brian was a 6th grader, and at first glance, he seemed like a classic case of look-at-me disease. He constantly needed to be the center of attention, wanted to be liked, and was also extremely sensitive. Brian had been in my class for about 2 weeks when he first broke down crying during a lesson. I pulled him aside to talk privately and asked what was wrong. Mr. Bones, these other kids just don't understand. I'm not trying to be annoying. I've had a hard life, and they just make fun of me without knowing what I've been through, he said, tears streaming down his face. I really felt for him and tried to comfort him. He continued, when I was in 1st grade, I saw my younger sister get oofed in a drive-by. It happened right in front of me. It was so awful, he then broke into full-body heaving sobs. This was literally my first month of teaching, and I wasn't prepared for something like this. I did my best to support him and had someone from the office come and take him. During my free period that followed, I called his mother. Her response chilled me to the bone with how nonchalant she was. Mr. Bones, she said, my son Brian lies like a rug. He's an only child. He's always been an only child. I thought to myself, wait, what the F? But what about the tears, I asked her. She replied, when my son was 2 years old, he'd sit in front of the mirror and make himself cry. He'd practice it over and over, and I had to tell him to stop because he was scaring me.